This facility, the Center for Applied Forensics, was actually created in 2012. This particular structure was the Jacksonville division of the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences. During the 2011 budget crunch that the state had, labs consolidated and personnel were transferred. I had a long-standing history with JSU since our laboratory was on this campus, so we looked at it, and when the state was doing their consolidation, it was creating such a void because they were no longer going to process crime scenes. They were going to strictly consolidate into their buildings and concentrate on true lab work in the physical structure. So our thought process was, how do we fill this void? And looking at the budget problem and everything else, it was like, okay, let's do what we can at the local level, kind of teach these guys how to take care of themselves.
We were first approached by JSU 2 or 3 years ago. I came to know Mark Hopwood and Shane when they were briefly working with the local drug task force here that we used to fund. And when they began this venture here, Hopwood had immediately identified a gap in services between some of the labs shutting down through DFS budget cuts and a need for locals to have access to those type of services. So through this collaboration with them, we've been able to provide not only training, but essential tools for the agencies to be able to work those cases in their home areas.
So we started offering training. We started looking at new technology, things that would make working stuff out on the side of the road quicker and better. Well, one of the things that we came up with was, if we can teach these guys how to collect samples that have the most probative value, give them the biggest bang for their buck, and minimize the number of samples that are submitted to the state lab, then that's helping the prosecutor, that's helping the officer, and that's reducing samples that are sent to the forensics lab for analysis, which is kind of win-win across the board. If we teach these guys how to collect a DNA sample that is going to be as pure as it can be and not contaminated and not degraded, then when it goes to the lab, then it's quick in, out. They get a good probative piece of evidence that's going to prove their case. So we look at it, minimize the number of samples collected, get the biggest bang for your buck, teach the guys how to use the equipment, teach them how not to contaminate things, how to collect things properly. And the response we get from agencies that participate in this, I mean, it's overwhelming. They're like, I never knew I could do that.